This is CNC World, a new perspective.
At the beginning of February, European investigative organization Europol disclosed an extensive criminal network connected to widespread soccer match fixing. A total of 425 officials, players, and criminals from more than 15 countries are suspected of being involved in attempts to fix more than 380 professional soccer matches in Europe. Government officials and researchers said measures should be taken to ban match fixing from all sports.
In the beginning of February, here at the Europol office in The Hague, massive match fixing in European soccer was revealed. The revelations caused a shock, but were no surprise to insiders. The question is, what will happen next and what should be done now?
The European investigative organization Europol disclosed an extensive criminal network involved in widespread soccer match fixing. The conclusion of Director Rob Wainwright was clear.
I think this is a sad day for European football.
At a press conference on February 4th, Europol spoke of the biggest ever investigation of its kind in Europe. Ben Van Rompuy of the Asser Institute in The Hague, a center for international and European law, was one of the experts not shocked by the outcome.
I'm sure this is not the last we've heard of it, and I'm sure a lot of big names and famous clubs will unfortunately be involved in future revelations. If I look at the Europol announcement and what kind of a shock it brought to the public at large, maybe it's not a bad thing that these things are done, and in terms of awareness it's definitely working. Some people are still not convinced that match fixing is a huge problem that can happen anywhere.
A total of 425 officials, players, and criminals from more than 15 countries are suspected of being involved in attempts to fix more than 380 professional soccer matches in Europe. History, however, showed the number of convictions might eventually remain low. Like in Germany in 2009, when only 14 of over 300 suspected match fixers were convicted.
You've seen a lot of cases in other countries that it's very difficult to prosecute people because of the high burden of proof. You'll always need great evidence.
Ben Van Rompuy told CNC that with match fixing, there is usually no paper trail and there is nothing on record. There is a whole chain of people meeting together. It is difficult to follow the money and get hard proof on the case.
I hope that this time it'll be different. I don't think of the 425 match officials that are suspected that all of them will be prosecuted. I'm quite sure it will only be a limited amount, a limited portion of that. But hopefully things will work better than in 2009. Investigation has been very thorough. They've worked on this for more than a year. And we also see that a lot of countries, also those involved in the investigation now, that they've changed their laws so they could more effectively tackle corruption in sports.
Europol showed match fixing in Europe is widespread, but most matches were fixed in countries like Turkey, Germany, and Switzerland, which are organized by illegal betting syndicates from Asia.
These are only snapshots of a certain time. If tomorrow someone, a bookmaker or a gambling house in Southeast Asia finds it interesting to fix a match in the Netherlands, for instance, then we have the problem right here. So far nothing has emerged in this country, but looking at the signals all around us, it's difficult to say that one country or one region could claim that they are clean. It's obviously a widespread problem, and usually these are networks that span around multiple jurisdictions, multiple countries, multiple continents often.
Contrary to some other European countries, professional football in the Netherlands has remained free of major corruption scandals. However, the sports world in the Netherlands might not be as innocent as it might seem from the outside. Europol announced 5 Dutch people were involved in their investigation. MP of Labour Party Geert van Dekken said the people of the Netherlands should not be naive. He claimed to have received concrete evidence for match fixing in Dutch soccer in the 2009-2010 season and shared his information with a public prosecutor.
What you have to do as an MP, as a representative of the people, but also as a citizen, it is your duty to share this kind of knowledge with the relevant authorities. When their conclusion is that the information is insufficient to start a preliminary inquiry or such a thing, I can only say that I am greatly disappointed. Because naturally the Netherlands cannot be the only country in the world where match fixing does not take place. That is nonsense. I just don't believe it.
The Europol investigation could be a wake-up call for the Dutch. Van Dekken hopes the Dutch Ministry of Justice will begin a judicial inquiry aside from an investigation already started by the Ministry of Sports. For now, he cannot give more details on suspected Dutch matches or persons.
Dat zou ik wel willen doen, maar dat ga ik niet doen.
I would like to do that, but I'm not going to. It would not make sense. We reported it to the authorities. I shall keep it at that, because no one is guilty before guilty has been proven. To find the evidence, you need a judiciary inquiry. It does not seem to come now, but perhaps later on, for we shall keep on the political pressure.
Van Dekken told CNC it will be a long way to ban match fixing from sports, but he is quite determined to realize that goal.
I think that all kinds of measures could be taken, but we do have a ban match fixing from sport. In whatever way. Of course, that is going to be a long and complicated story, but that is our goal. Therefore, we will politically not let off.
This is CNC World, a new perspective.